So I was writing, like writing has been my thing since I was about 8, 9, 10 years old. But if I'm not able to succeed in this also, then how can I ever succeed in anything? I think this is one of the most difficult questions to answer. Right now on this call, if I tell you, Raj, I can pay you right now $10,000.
So, hello everyone. Welcome to this awesome podcast. So, today we have Shreya Pattar. So, we are very excited for this podcast. Actually, I am following her from last 1 year, following her strategy on different social media platforms. So, it's very great that I'm hosting that person today. So, it's very excited for me. I think you can learn so much from me. Each day, I sit with my team. I say that uh, see Shreya Pattar strategy, how can we decode her, how can we implement in our client work and these things. So right now I'm very much excited, also nervous also, that I'm hosting that same person on this podcast. So it's very dream podcast. It's our 10th podcast, so it's also a milestone that we are bringing you in podcast. So hi Shreya, how are you?
Hi Raj, thank you for the introduction. I'm good, how are you?
I'm awesome. So, Shreya, I'm very much excited for that thing. I am seeing your journey that you mentioned that you are a student also. You study psychology, right? If I mention.
No, I'm not studying anymore. I studied English and philosophy.
Okay, you study English philosophy. You mentioned in Dublin, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, in Dublin, I have seen many of your podcasts and different things and strategy. So I was very eager to know about your background, how you start that, and from India where you belong, and how you start, and internationally how you gone through. So I want to know all the backgrounds of your journey in a short span, just to.
Yeah, okay. I'm from Mumbai, India, and I did like most of my schooling there until, right from like when I was young to my 12th grade, which we have like high school. I did all of that in India, mainly with, the intention to become a doctor. I wanted to pursue medicine, become a doctor. So according to that, my roadmap as such was taking up science, going ahead with science. But then I think during high school I realized that this is not really what I want to do because it's just not aligning with the it's just not aligning with me. So based on that, I switched my career. I decided to go in for pursuing English instead, English literature. I chose that, and for that reason, I moved abroad. So I moved to Dublin for this course, and that switch as such was mainly because I've been writing for a long time. So I was writing, like writing has been my thing since I was about 8, 9, 10 years old, and it's just been something that's come very naturally to me as such. That's been my inclination. It's been my interest. So I really enjoyed it. So because of that, I thought, okay, this is something that I can see myself doing for a long time. It aligns with me. It aligns with what makes me happy. What I think I would, be interested in doing more of, doing it for a long time, doing, improving upon it, not just doing it as it is, but also I'm keen on learning more about it, doing better, becoming better at it. So yeah, so that's my journey in the shortest way possible from, everything, how it started to how it's ended up here.
It's very great. So same, I'm relating the journey. As you said, I'm also from the uh, Uttar Pradesh. I'm from Jhansi, Uttar Pradesh. So I most of the education is done in Hindi. So I most of the education is done in local language. Then after 11, 12, I shifted to ISC board, but that's the not the flow. After that, I completed engineering. So after engineering, that I realized that okay, I'm good with this marketing strategy. I have started 2 3 startups in my college life. So I have an experience of building the team and how it is works and these things work. So I also know the offline marketing thing. So I have done so many marketing for startups and the offline advertisement and these things. So then in college life, I got to know about this fancy stuff, digital marketing. Then I got to learn about start with blogging. Then I figure out that it's not cup of tea. Then video marketing in future. Later I figure it out. Then I say, okay, this is the thing I can do. Okay, I can record myself, I can document myself. So that's how my journey start. So simple thing is that this podcast I started to inspire the people from the cities like non metro cities in India. So
Mhm.
to pursue this journey in this field, because there is right now there is a FOMO of digital marketing. People are want to know, but they are so much attracted by the passive income turn in this and these things, but they
Yeah.
don't know actually the value, what is the value real mind. So they fall in trap with wrong person, that someone a wrong person they actually didn't know, and they think that all thing is good if we go in this field and all thing will be sorted out. So they pursue a wrong dream in it. So they have so many myths. So that's why I'm bringing that knowledge to normal people in the in this podcast. So my question, that's a very, very basic question. I know your expertise is great, but very basic question, that if a person is starting his journey, suppose he is shifting his career, just you shifted your career, I shifted my career from engineering to this field. So what are the point a person should take in mind? Okay, I'm choosing this career, so these are the to do, I have to do these things, and these are not to do, not to expect these things, and these are things I can expect. Because many people are doing it in part time, that learning digital marketing, learning content writing, but they don't know what to do and what not to do.
I think when you're making a career switch, there is some sort of good positivity that now you're doing something that is probably, what you wanted to do all along. It seems like this is more right for you. It feels
True.
like it's your calling. So there's some sort of positivity associated with it. But I think along with that positivity, there's also pressure. And that pressure comes from first that you think that, okay, this is what I think I'm the best at, or what I can be the best at. But if I'm not able to succeed in this also, then how can I ever succeed in anything? I think that's one kind of pressure that comes up. And the second kind of pressure is that you have to succeed in it fast, because you think that, oh, now I switched my career, I have left something, and if this doesn't work out, you're going to spend so much time thinking about the what if. What if I had not left my career? Maybe if I was stuck to that, however I felt about it, whatever it was, whatever it meant, at least I would have had this kind of success. At least I would have made this much money. At least I would have had a job. At least I would have known where I'm going, whatever it may be. So I think these two kinds of pressure, both of these kinds, will go away with a lot of patience and commitment in the long term. Because you can be good at it. Like, let's say writing could have been my natural calling, it could have been something that I've been fond of. And I could have left some other career choice, but it doesn't mean that writing has come overnight to me. It's not something that worked out instantly. It's worked out pretty fast. I would say I am grateful that I've seen results that I also didn't expect to see quite, as fast as I did. But if I look back, it's still almost been 4 years. So it's not fast in the
True.
sense that people think it'll be overnight, but it's fast in the sense that, oh, it's probably something that would, take other people maybe 7, 8 years. That has been possible in a shorter span of time in comparison. But it's a long-term process. So I would say patience is important. If you have your full mindset that yes, what I'm doing, I'm going to give my 100% to this for at least the next 3 or 5 years. You have to make up your mind. If you are running back like, no, I should have, completed that degree, or I should have taken that job, or I should have taken that internship, or I shouldn't have quit that job or that career, then you're not giving your 100% to this new thing that you've picked up, which is going to become much more difficult. So super important, the thing to do is to be patient and to be committed to the whole process. Be consistent. Don't think, okay, now you know what, let me go back to the job, then let me try a little bit here and there.
True.
No, if you've left something behind, leave it behind, let it be. Look at what you've chosen and look ahead at it. And the thing to not do would be to be in the rush, which is again the opposite of being patient. To try to, be in a rush for results. Also, things to not do includes, not giving up because you're not seeing results now. It takes time. Let it take time. And third would be to not just, stop and think like, okay, no, I have to keep changing my strategy. Don't do that. If you're trying something, try it for at least a couple of months. See how that's working out. If it's not bringing you any results at all, then change the strategy. Again, in the same thing that you're doing, but
I
change the
think it will be
strategy.
90 days time we take.
Time as such, it depends. Like, some things, it also depends on how much of it you do, right? Let's say you're creating content on one platform for 90 days straight, whereas you're creating content on another platform for like twice a week for 90 days straight.
Hmm.
That makes a difference as well.
True.
So, how much time you're putting it, how much effort you're putting in, it makes a difference. If you're up and down but you're giving 90 days, it doesn't matter. Then, even in a year, you might not be able to gauge the true potential of that task because you've not given it enough time. But if you're doing something, let's say every day for 30 minutes, 1 hour, and then you're saying, okay, after 1 month, after putting in these 30, 40, 50 hours, I still know that it's not working, then you might want to change faster. So yeah, it's very much contextual to what you feel is also right and what's, what you feel like you're putting the best effort in. And if you feel like I'm not doing my best, then you have to double down on it.
True. But sometimes these are the situation. It's okay, but some situation are there. Likewise, in the some states, the people are not doing financially well, so they were in a rush that they have to success fast. Otherwise, they have to prove to someone on these things. So there are some challenges. So I suggest that if they have a good mentorship, then they can definitely overcome these challenges, or they can definitely know what they predict that what can going work, what cannot work. So I think people should take multiple advice in their field, meet with the expert. I think meeting with the expert, just I am meeting you and different people, that how it industry is going, and where my place is, where I am going to place it in this. Just I want to explain with the example, you get to know more. Before that, before 2017, I started my digital marketing. So I start with WordPress web designing. I write a blog, WordPress web designing. So I didn't know I don't go good with content writing. So I start making websites for people and earning the money, start making websites for people. But I know that this thing will be not be scalable. If I do, okay, I will be making 4 website, 5 website, I can hire some people, then I can make 4 5 websites. So I think this is a very competitive market, and that I got to realize from some people. I used to network people every week. I go to community that, okay, what you doing, what are you doing, okay, what's the thing is going in the market, and what's I want to do. So then I realized about video marketing. Okay, let pause this thing and start the thing. So how mentorship, how networking, or how these things will help you, or these things help me, but how these things help me or help any person to figure out their career. Because sometimes there is a motivation that there are so many motivation, never give up, never things, and so people are doing wrong things for 2 3 years straight. If they are wrong thing, they are repeating the wrong thing, then there is a consistency. If they are doing the same thing again and again, so these things work, so they have to evolve also. What's your point on that?
Look, everything's different for everyone, but I
True.
would say you don't need a mentor. I think too many people stress so much, I need a mentor. You don't. You don't need to be in conversation with people.
True.
You're spending so much time trying to seek validation. Like you said, what is your place in the industry? It doesn't matter. It
True.
doesn't matter what I tell you. Oh, you know what, Raj, this is your place in the industry. It doesn't matter. I'm nobody. In that context, I'm nobody. I'm nobody who can tell you what your place is supposed to be. So seeking that validation, I think it's become even more prominent in the time where everyone's connected online. But it's not something you need to do. It's not something you should be doing either. Like how we say in any other context, if apart from business we talk about self-love, about accepting ourselves as who we are.
True.
Same thing applies here as well. You're not supposed to wait for somebody to say, you know what, you look pretty in that dress. You're not supposed to wait for that. If you like how you look, that's great. Same for your career as well. I think nobody talks about it that way. But stop seeking validation, stop looking for mentorship, because honestly, most people will not be willing to mentor you. Even I don't mentor people. I don't mentor in general, but I wouldn't even get on a call with somebody who says, hey, you know what, I want to learn how to make money. I'm like, I'm not going to get on a call with you because you don't know anything. I cannot even help you at this stage. You have to do something first. So let's say if somebody's taken on my free advice, they've used everything, all the content on my social media, they've used my ebooks, they've read that, and then they've applied something, and then they've messaged me, hey Shreya, you know what? I applied all these tips, but now I'm stuck here after 3 months of trying. I will always respond to them because I
True.
know they've put in the work. So finding a mentor is not easy. It should not be your first goal. Your first goal should be to take action. And even then, I don't, like in this, in this scenario, let's say I don't care how much you look up to me. I would say that if you think what advice I'm giving or what tips I'm giving or something I'm telling you, it does not fit right with you, don't do it. It doesn't matter who I am, it
True.
doesn't matter how
That's
successful
true
of a
thing.
business I run. Because when I released my ebooks, I had certain strategies that I think nobody has used for promoting their ebooks. And
True.
I've spoken to certain people, they said this is not going to work.
True.
But it worked for me. I said, you know what? Okay, you said it's not going to work. I accept that. I don't know. Maybe if I did it their way, I would have maybe made double the sales. I don't know. But the way I did it, it still worked because in my head, I thought it would go much lower. It would be much worse. But it did good because I tried what fit right with me, what I thought I was, confident about. So don't look for validation. Don't look for a mentor. You don't need a mentor in the early stages. You need it when you have a real problem, when you're at a block.
True.
With the example that you gave about your website company, nobody says it's not true that you can't scale it beyond a certain point. Yes, you
Yes.
can't do it yourself. You can't do everything. But even if you can't, let's say, if you can in your own capacity, let's say you can work with three people.
Hmm.
Let's say every month you can build three websites. It's possible for you
Hmm.
alone. So what is the way to scale it? It's not to increase the number of clients. It's to increase the quality of
Uh,
work and increase the price.
Price.
Then you're getting paid like $5,000 per website, $10,000 per website, 20,000. That's how you scale.
True.
Same thing with the team. People run like, proper agencies, everything's remote. So, yeah, maybe video editing is working out for you as well. But again, we can't say that, you know what, if you had stuck to web development, it would not have worked out for you.
True.
We don't know that. So I would say like don't keep experimenting every single month because first of all everyone will give different advice as well. And second of all nobody knows anything. The whole thing about figuring out also that you mentioned, nobody knows.
Exactly.
Nobody has it all figured out. Everyone's figuring things out as you go. So if you say, "Hey Shreya, you know what? How do I figure this out?" My first response is, I don't know. Like, look, this is the strategy I've used, this is what I've recommended, and this is what, in my experience, has given people the best results. Will it definitely work out for you? I don't know. Because nobody has it all
Nobody
figured
knows.
out, and you cannot. So, yeah, like that validation thing has to come out, that validation, that approval. You
Exactly.
can't run a business like that.
True. Actually, I also realized one person said to me, don't look for the mentor. Don't start the thing, then you find the mentor, then only you start the thing. Start the thing, you will find the mentor anyway after long time. But do not look for validation. There is internet, all the things are there. You just Google it. All the things are in your hand and you can start your journey. You don't need you didn't need a time or you don't need a validation of mentor and these things. So this is very also I read these few lines. I am reading that book Rework. So read these points why people are stuck and the same points you mentioned. That's very great that people are seeking for validation. Okay, this works, this will not work. Also you are very focused. I am saying that you are doing journey of your Instagram. Exactly, you said that you have done I think 60 50 60 lives each day are doing Instagram live. I listen about that. Same you are doing in Twitter. So I think it need a good focus and at least a good amount of maturity in that key, good focus and good maturity in that. So most of the people I met, met so many people nowadays on Instagram, LinkedIn and different Twitter also. So I regret that they have started something. Even I started in future something, but I lack these things. I know it's come from inside. I know I like this work. I love this work very much. I love this work that I can work in 12 hours. I'm earning the money from this client, also earn them, but the consistency and the focus you generate. So I would love to learn that what are the things hacks and things for focus you use.
I don't have any hacks.
So
There's
sorry for
nothing.
hack using the term hack, but just want to know that how you just know your story that how you have did it focusfully because it need a focus. I think it need a focus and
Everything needs focus.
exactly.
Like I think this is one of the most difficult questions to answer. Like everyone asks, about your time management and your focus and how you balance client work with your content creation and your personal life and whatnot. But these things can't be put in a box. I can't say how I've developed that focus. I mean, how is anybody supposed to do anything in life without focus? How can you do anything? You can't do anything. You can't succeed in anything. Like that's a given. I realize that now again with all these distractions, with like your phone and with everything else that you have around you, I realize that all these things become difficult. Focus becomes difficult. But that's also why such few people succeed. Everyone will succeed now, but will the same person keep doing that same thing in like 5, 10 years? Will they still be who they, who they were supposed to be based on where they were headed? I think focus is our natural state, because there's no way we are supposed to grow without it. There's no way that we can do anything better without it. Anything, like it could even be, something as simple as cooking. If you're cooking at home and you don't have focus, you're not paying attention, you're going to end up missing salt, you're going to end up missing some spice, unless of course you're so automated into doing it that yeah, it becomes easier, but that also requires focus to get there. Everything requires focus, and I think the problem is not being focused, the problem is avoiding distractions or cutting yourself off from anything that pulls you away from the focus. That's more important. So as long as you can say goodbye to anything, if it's social media, if it's Netflix, if it's sleeping too much, if it's just staring at a blank wall, if that's your distraction, then the best way to find your focus is to steer away from that, because there's no other way. And if you don't have focus, then nothing can be done. Nothing's possible then.
I have extension of this question. I asked so many people that what benefit you are, you setting a goal person, are you a habit person? So same I say with the social media habit. If we follow these kind of habit on daily basis, then it will be a successful for you. It will be successful, not, but you definitely have a routine of social media, like in proper routine. You have a routine proper. So I say when it comes to social media habit or goals, what you prefer and how you do it on a daily basis. Social media habit, do you have set of routine or you just do randomly, or what are the things?
I'm not addicted to social media, although I have a lot of work. I create content on three platforms: LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. But I've not been on Instagram for the last 4 days just because I haven't had this sort of bandwidth to do that. And I'm fine. I'm not like, oh no, I have to, be there. I have to use it. Content creation is a different thing, but even using it, I'm not addicted to it. I would love and I prefer keeping my phone away, considering all of my work is on the laptop, it's on the phone, everything's on the screen. So I love being away from it. So I think that's the only thing, in terms of just having a good idea that okay, this is work. So you post something, you have a goal that okay, you do want to post, you want to grow in certain way, you want to make these many sales, you want to find these many clients. That's one thing. But also habit in terms of okay, that this is content creation is one of the jobs that you have to do. In my case, I know that content creation is something I have to do. I haven't posted in 4 days, it makes me feel bad, yes, but I'm not addicted towards using it. So I don't think it's a goal or a habit kind of thing. It's what you've got to do. In my case, social media is work. I cannot neglect it for too long. I take my days off every month or so, but I know that I have to create content. I want to respond to people who messaged me. And yeah, it's not about whether why I do it, how I do it. It's that I do it because it's work. So just I think the important part is that there's no addiction in this side of things. That it's not a habit in the sense that oh, I have to pick up my phone every 2 hours and check. No, I don't. I don't have any that sort of inclination towards social media, which I think is great. It's good.
So the next thing I want to just came in mind that okay, I just watches too many podcasts and read books. So did you follow certain books and podcasts that is good for content creator, at least for our content creators who want to become in the marketing field? Do you listen sort of books or podcasts, or you have any book recommendation, or where do you learn? What is your learning source?
I think these are all very different questions. I don't listen to podcasts. I don't read books about content creation or writing. No.
Uh,
Sources, I think a lot of people on Twitter that I follow, especially in the marketing side of things, they give a lot of tips on how to write, how to improve your client relations, how to write better, how to work better, how to conduct sales calls better, all these things. So there's no specific person I follow as such, but just anything that pops up on my feed, if it looks interesting, if it looks like something I would want to try, so I'll probably note it down, and then I'll try it out the next time I have a call, or the next time I'm sending an article or whatever. So nobody specific really, just you know whoever piques my interest in that particular time frame of time. Yeah.
so Basically, last thing I want to ask, that is, you are very expert, and this is a very personal question. I really want to ask for me that I'm a person who cracked the client in national, then I got the some international, but they are Indian origin, and they are the people from Indian origin. They are living in California in this from last 20 years. So I start working with him from the. So now I start earning in dollars. Started just my journey last month to earning in dollars. So, but how to go means how to approach more people internationally. I really stuck at that point. How to approach more people internationally. Same. Basically, I do business coaches. So basically, the business coaches people I help leadership course, business code, mindset course to build their personal brand through these content marketing strategy and repurposing their content and content marketing strategy. So I have built a team around it. So we have a team of near about 10 to 12 people. So also we also I'm doing not I'm doing instead of doing for client, but I'm doing research and development with team on performance marketing, that how these performance marketing technique helpful for these client specific, this niche client, this mindset coach, how I can do. So basically I'm doing these two things, but I want that I can get some people for $5,000, $10,000. Then how I can reach to that people, and what is the thing I should keep in mind, and what is the mindset I think keep in mind for before approaching these things. So any advice, this my personal advice, and my friends also are they at the same stage, so I want for them.
See, this is a very big question. Like it could be an entire ebook in terms of because it's all about lead generation, offer creation, also fulfillment, and also like
I
the
just want to
mindset,
about
right?
mindset. We have already done LinkedIn. We know how to. We have so many people in LinkedIn on daily basis, and we have read around it. Ki how to. We have read your content, also your ebook. So how to
Yeah.
approach people and these things. So yeah, so your so we have applied that. We have got some leads also. We have generated leads also. But the thing is that how to connect, because for India people we connect easily, and this is a connect that okay, this is a connect, and we can, because this is a personal branding stuff, we have to connect it on a weekly basis. We have to this is not a work, this is a content, you have to do it right and complete. And this is
Mhm.
so we have to connect it, we have to understand their branding mindset, we have to structure it proper. Then whether they want to start a podcast, whether they want to start a thing, then our team will start implementing with them. So how to connect with foreign clients, we already have a leads, but how to connect, how to close, at least I say how to close them and how to start working with them. So again,
Okay,
it's a
Raj,
very
your
very
question
big
keeps
question.
changing. No, your question actually keeps changing. It went from something entirely different to something else. And again, connecting, closing, sales calls, entirely different things. Really, like we could have 10-hour conversation on each topic. I'll give you a basic thing though. I
Basic.
think what you're trying to say is you want international clients,
Yeah,
people who have higher budgets. That's your primary question.
true.
So for that, I will say very fundamental thing, reach out to people who are based internationally. I know you're thinking that, it takes time to create messages and personalize it and everything, but that's what you have to do. You have to
True.
do your market research, you have to understand what the job is, you have to understand how you can help people, and you have to reach out in bulk. Once a week, reaching out to 10 people is not the solution. Reaching out to like 50 people a day, especially if you have a team, even more, 100 people every single day, that's 3,000 leads a month. Then you say that you can't find somebody. And all of these leads, by the way, should be in your target country. If you want somebody who's based in California, all these leads should be people that you're reaching out to who are based in California only. That's how you will generate leads on and generate clients who are in your target audience. If you say yes to anybody and everybody, then you're not finding clients who suit your needs. And again, if you want a particular revenue or particular type of invoice you want to raise, particular amount you want to raise, is your service worth that much? First question. It's not about whether they are $1 million company who can afford to pay $50,000. It's not that. Do you have an offer that is worth $50,000? Like right now on this call, if I tell you, Raj, I can pay you right now $10,000 for, let's say, this particular service. Now tell me, what can you do for me? Do you have an offer ready right now? Can you close me for $10,000 right now on this call? That is important. If you don't have an offer, if you don't have something that you can offer that is worth 10,000, forget 10,000, $3,000. If you don't have that, you can't imagine closing a deal which is like 20, 25,000. So first create an offer. And how do you create that? Through market research. Understand your pain point, like the client's pain point, understand how you can help them, understand why your offer is worth, that much, why somebody would pay you, $10,000. What is the value aspect you're offering in exchange for that money? All of that. That question, the day you think that on the spot, if somebody says, I have $10,000 sitting with me right now, Raj, I can give it to you. And if you have a solution for them, yes, okay, Shreya, this is what I can do for you for $10,000. If you are able to say it confidently, that's the day your offer is ready. That's how it should be. You should have it ready with you.
So basically, I have these question in my mind, but I have one last short one word question for you. What is the best DM, best email you have ever received? What means there are 2, 3 emails that you notice, okay, this is a best cold email, best DM I have received.
I get a lot of messages every day. Nothing's stood out as such. Like nothing's been like, okay, wow, this. But I think some people try too hard, which
Mhm.
is why I remember it. But like I often get, because everyone knows me to be a Taylor Swift fan, so I often get cold emails that have like a Taylor Swift lyric in the subject line or some variation of it, personalized variation of it, which I think is okay, but it's a little on the trying too hard side of things because
True.
then their email is also full of those kind of things. So you have to find a subtle line between catching somebody's attention and then actually conveying value in your email, keeping it short. Also, people who write me email, I appreciate that, they found my ebooks helpful and stuff, but then they end up writing an essay. So the first three paragraphs are only about how the ebook helped, and then they'll pitch me something.
True.
So again, it's a bit I lose track a little bit, because it's too much of a mix of
True.
things. So yeah, in that sense, I think shorter emails would work. But yeah, but every day, like I really like any emails or messages I received. I think they're very um, like it makes me feel really good that somebody is applying something, they've found their first client, they made their first uh, money online, they've made as much as their entire family makes in a year, they've made in a month. Like I get messages like these, and I don't know what to think about this, that somebody is able to do that because of what I'm putting out there, because of such conversations. So that makes me really happy. Like I think that I'm doing something right. So I think, like, yeah, those are nice.
So these are actually its podcast is very valuable. I think we have discussed so many things. It's not a niche thing. I think that when we start, I have a question in that I ask in a certain niche, but it go in different direction. But I think it will be valuable for people. They got to know about from my mindset and your mindset at how to structure things, how to do start the things. And actually, the only thing they can get a mindset or the all the things they have to do by themselves only. So
Mm-hmm.
this is the very thing. And at the end, you have any message for the people who are listening to this podcast? Any favorite learnings, favorite anything you want to say?
I think the most important topic from this conversation has been about the preparation side of things. That expecting to find a $10,000 client or above, or anybody, expecting somebody to pay you when you don't have an offer is
True,
like saying that why is nobody buying that toothbrush from me even when you don't even have a toothbrush company, right? You get what I
true,
mean? It's like having nothing to sell but expecting people to buy from you.
true,
Like it makes no sense. So I think this is the most important takeaway from this conversation, that create an offer. Don't think that I need a high ticket client. No, do you have something worth offering for that much? First work on your offer, understand your market, get on a call with them, offer them a free like consultation or audit or something like that in exchange for just 10 minutes of their time to understand their pain points. Send them a survey, send them a form to fill, like just quick 5-10 minutes, and in exchange you can offer something. You can even offer like free consultation or tickets to a certain event or some anything that you want, or a free content piece in return, free revamp of a particular page of their website, whatever. But market research and your offer is the key. If you don't have that, you don't have anything else. So work on that. Like that's one of the most important things if you want to scale your business.
True. So much knowledgeable for me. First of all, this podcast I am going to listen in a loop, and I'm going to edit it and place at least this part I am going to place in the form of reels and IGTV. So people will scalable listen these things, that what is the mindset when you are going to pitch to high clients, because actually I'm going to share with it for my friends that okay, these are the things we should keep in mind before pitching the thing. Actually we should have a product, we should have an offer. So these things actually, the thing you said about to do and not to do, these things really helpful people. So because people have to do but they don't have to not to do, what not to do,
Mm.
what not to do things. So these things really helpful for if I were 1 year ago, if someone tell me these are the to do, there are many people who are saying that to do, there are no people who are saying that these things you should not to do. And these things I also say to people that this is a process, you should be consistent every day. No matter if you consistent every day, or you are not this not require hard work, this is only required consistency. Well, hard work is necessary but consistency is more necessary. If you are suppose 1 week 2 weeks if you are out, so
Mm-hmm.
whole thing you have to start back again, I think these things. So thank you, Shreya. We will be having you again whenever I doing 25th episode or 50th episode. We will having an maybe I'm scaling somewhere, and definitely I think you are one of my, I say, virtual mentor to me. I have learned so many things from you. Even I done first time Twitter spaces with you, I was so excited. Okay, I am doing with Shreya Pattar. I have tell so many people in my house and these things. Okay, I have done a Twitter spaces with her, and these now I'm doing podcasts. So it's a very great moment for me that I am learning so much. My whole team, content team, we sit with every Wednesday 2 to 5 p.m. We say, okay, what Shreya, and this is Twitter on anthology. Let read this. What Twitter she has figured it out from Twitter. Now, what we have figured out from other people, let implement this. So, thank you for all this, and we will connect again.